So really ready to go, ladies and gents, just waiting for Neeraj Goyat, who is in the vicinity, I'm told. Okay, well actually we're going to get started. So first of all, good afternoon and welcome to the Landmark Hotel, a very familiar venue for boxing press conferences. Thanks very much for coming down. And we're here today to announce the Nations Connect Bill, which will be brought to you on July the 12th from the King Abdullah Sports City in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Headlined by Amir Khan against Neeraj Goyat for the WBC Pearl Belt at welterweight over 12 rounds. It's been co-promoted by the Super Boxing League and Matchroom Boxing, and a good undercard will be added. Prince Patel will feature on that, the WBO bantamweight prospect contender who joins us here this morning. We need to thank as well, first of all, the Saudi government and the General Sports Authority for getting behind this. This is the same venue, of course, that hosted the World Boxing Super Series Super Middleweight final last September between George Groves and Callum Smith. So the Saudi government and the GSA building up a track record of hosting boxing events. As for the fight itself, Amir doesn't really need any introduction. He's been a leading light in the sport since he won his silver medal as a fresh-faced 17-year-old back in 2004 in Athens. It seems like a long time ago now. He's achieved so much in the interim period. Unified super lightweight champion of the world, of course, and we last saw him headlining at Madison Square Garden against Terence Crawford, and headlining at major venues against some of the world's biggest fighters is something that he's made a career out of. In the other corner will be Neeraj Goyat, who's at a different stage of his career, but he sees this as a massive opportunity to lock horns with somebody like Amir and really make a name for himself. For him, there is everything to gain here, really, and very little to lose. So it's a case of an established household name really giving an opportunity to a fighter on the rise. But this isn't any ordinary fight. There's an added aspect to this. It's called Nations Connect for a reason, because these two fighters have chosen to take this challenge in an effort to connect the nations of Pakistan and India and try and unite them through sporting rivalry. And boxing being a very good sport to choose to do that, because as we all know, boxing is underpinned, founded upon really respect for yourself, respect for your opponents. And when these two fight on the 12th, they'll touch gloves at the start of the fight, go at it, and then at the end, when the bell goes, then embrace, and the respect will be there totally, as it always is. So that pretty much covers the event. One other thing to add is that Imran Khan, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, he's accepted Amir's invitation to attend at ringside, so he'll be there, as well as two other ministers from the Pakistani government. So I'll now just introduce our line-up here and just open it out to a few questions for them. On the end here we have Bones Adams and Alex Ariza, the training team for Amir Khan for this fight. Neeraj Goyat will be joining us soon. Asif Farley next to him, Ross Garrity of Matchroom, and then on the end there, Prince Patel. So Asif, if you'd just like to start and tell us a little bit more about the promotion and maybe fill in any blanks that I've left.
Okay, thank you very much. It's great to be back in London. Obviously, myself, Amir, Bill Desange, the CEO of Super Boxing League, Super Fight Promotions as well. I've been on a Middle Eastern tour. It's been a lot of hard work to get this fight on. Once we knew we were over the line, we had to convince people that this fight is happening. The WSB up in Saudi was great in Jeddah. And after that event, Bill Desange has been working really hard with Amir Khan to try and give something back to the community, try and build on something that's been missing for a while. And we know that the Indians and Pakistanis at cricket, the levels of anxiety, the levels of frustration, the levels of winning from both sides is pretty high. We also know what's been happening on the borders. Obviously, there's a lot of history there. Indians and Pakistanis traditionally have fought each other and fought over the boundaries. But now, what we are doing is doing something unique, something different. What we'd like to do is get the nation connected. So the Muslims all over the world will understand that you don't need to kill each other. We can use a sport as a tool, and boxing for sure is something that's been growing bigger. And the Super Boxing League over the last 3 years has been growing bigger, and we've had all kinds of religious boxers boxing in that tournament, and it's been so successful. It was inevitable our next step would be to go and promote a higher level fighter like Amir Khan, an amazing boxer who's done so well for his country and also for Pakistan as well as India over the last few years. Now you'll be surprised to see a team around him now. I obviously worked with him since he was an amateur, and then due to my personal reasons I left and came back on this one, and the future is going to be rosy because what Amir's done, not just in boxing but outside, is something we built on many years ago, and we've just done a full circle. What we're doing and what we're trying to do is give the opportunity for young boxers. Now, let me tell you, Goyat is hungry. Goyat wants to, and here he is, as I mentioned his name. Let's welcome Neeraj Goyat to London. Let's give him a round of applause, please. Off you go. Goyat is hungry. Goyat needs everything. He in India. He's got a lot of people on the shoulders. He's got his nation looking at. There's 1.2 billion people that'll be watching him, and they want him to win. He wants to win. He's come here. He's come from humble background. He used to be a shoe polisher. So what he's come from, then to become an MMA boxer, and then to go into boxing, and now work with the government. There's been amazing progress for him, and for him to be given the opportunity to fight Amir Khan is fantastic. Amir is taking a very risky fight. We know what happened at the weekend, and in boxing, you step into the ring, you never know who's going to win unless you come out victorious. So people out there, take this seriously. This is a very risky fight for Amir Khan. He's hungry. He keeps telling me, I'm going to be the champion. I'm going to make everybody proud. I don't want to earn two rupees an hour anymore. This is me. This is my dream. This is what I want to do. I'm sure he's going to tell you that as well. Now, SPL, he's fought in the SPL before. He was a team captain. And now, Amir has given him the opportunity to fight for the Pearl Belt. My thanks to Mauricio Sullivan, who again helped us to gain this belt. It's next to the money belt. So the money belt is up there, the pearl belt is next to it. It's a very prestigious belt from the WBC. And thank you for Mauricio for helping us to get the pearl belt. I've got a few thanks to give as well. Obviously, Andy's mentioned, Imran Khan is attending, unbelievable sports minister, a hero in cricket, attending in Jeddah. That's going to be amazing. His house has accepted the invitation, and we've also invited Modi as well, the Prime Minister of India, and hopefully he will come. And as we get there, you'll see the picture of what we're trying to do. We're trying to get everybody there and watch this fight and leave everything in the ring. The victorious person will be in the ring, outside the ring. You know, let's not get heated up. Let's enjoy the fight. Let's enjoy this occasion. It's going to be a great occasion. It's an event. The format of the evening is Super Boxing League. We're going to have 6 unbeaten boxers fighting 6 unbeaten opponents in 4 rounds. So 6 of the best. Somebody's all will have to go. So they will be fighting. We have got Amir Fiaz from UK. We've got a number of UK boxers as well, Indian, Pakistan boxers fighting in the Super Boxing League. And then I'm very pleased to announce a co-promotion with Matchroom Sports. Ross Garrity to my left, he will say a few words. Very pleased to announce a co-promotion with Matchroom Sports. We will then have 3 world title fights. First of the world title, Prince Patel. He has just, unfortunately, he's there. I'm sorry, Prince. We were one shot. Prince Patel for the IBO world title belt, fighting Michael Vasquez. For the IBO world title fight. We thank the IBO for sanctioning the fight in Jeddah, and also Mark Pryor Moore, as you know him, for helping us put this event together. Then there's going to be a chief support which will be announced very shortly. We're waiting for Eddie to come back from New York. He's still away, and unfortunately, he would have loved to have been here, but he's not here, and Ross has taken his place. Special thanks to Fawad Chowdhury, the Science and Technology Minister, and Zulfi Bukhari, the Federal Minister of Overseas and Tourism. Again, they have done a lot of hard work, and of course, Andy said, the KSA, JSA, and Jeddah Seasons, our thanks to them as well. So, let's not forget, we're here in a boxing fight. Somebody's got to win. So, best of the luck. We've got one more press conference to go to in Jeddah itself in next week, and the camp starts. So, a little bit about the camp. So, very, very pleased to see Alex Ariza. I only met him 5 minutes ago. He's come off the plane. We've been chatting quite for some time over the last 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and I wanted him to come back, and we wanted him to go back to the old school, and we want to see the best of the Amir Khan, the best he was when we were training out there in America. Obviously, we were there with Freddie Roach, but we've got the new trainer, Bones Adams, an amazing trainer. Technically, he's absolutely fantastic, an up-and-coming, hungry trainer who's had such success over the last couple of years. So that you've just seen the new team that's got together for Amir Khan for the future. So again, they've got challenges ahead, and in 5 to 6 weeks' time, on the 12th of July, you will be seeing a brand new team around Amir and an amazing fight in Jeddah. So my thanks to everybody there, and you guys, of course, to help promote the event. Thank you, Andy.
Ross, a quick word from you.
Thanks, Andy. So I'm here from Matchroom Boxing, and on behalf of Eddie Hearn. Just want to start by saying we're delighted to be associated with this event and this concept. We're looking forward to working with Amir and his team again. I think you all agree, and it's definitely right for me to say that Amir Khan is, in everything he does inside and outside the ring, he's a bit of a trailblazer. He always likes to do something different. And this fight is definitely a good example of that. We, as the co-promoter of this event, we're really proud as well that we're going to be hosting an event in a new territory. We launched Matchroom in the US, in Italy last year. So, this venture to the Middle East also definitely aligns with our global ambitions as a company. In terms of our role, we'll be obviously involved with the entire promotion. We'll also be working hard on the undercard, as Aziz mentioned. We have some very big fights planned with some big names, and we're close to being able to announce those. So watch this space, roll on July 12th, and thank you very much.
Cheers, Ross. So let's get to the two teams, and on the end there we have Alex Ariza and Bones Adams. So you might have to share that one, I think, by the look of it. So just tell us about how this combination has come together and your views ahead of the fight.
We started about 4 weeks ago. I started speaking with Asif, and he contacted me and asked, that's all what we were doing with Maidana, and Maidana unfortunately split ways with Al Heyman, and we were free, and Asif we just started talking about the future of Amir. And basically I've always, Amir's only 32 years old, so I always believe, Amir and I have spoken years ago back, about reuniting, and it's just unfortunate that, sometimes, the trainers and things like that have their own direction that they want to go in, and I have my own agenda I want to go in, and so I thought this was a tremendous opportunity. Like I've always said, I think the Amir Khan that I used to have back then was changed into a different fighter, and I think that's where the problem took place. So I always used to go tell Amir, let's go back to how we used to do things, let's go back to the way we used to train, get back the speed, the explosiveness, and the power, and all the things that made him the fighter that he is. So Asif and I went back and forth, and Asif got us to get back together, and here we are.
What do you make of this contest in particular? Because this is a different kind of a challenge for a fighter like Amir Khan, who's been fighting top names, well-known fighters for such a long time, and Neeraj is much more of an unknown quantity.
I'm not one of those trainers that say, I underestimated the other opponent. I've always trained Amir, whether it be for the biggest fight of his career or whether it be for Apollo Malignaggi. So for me, it's about train for our team. Every fight is a world championship fight, and Amir it's fortunate for us. Amir and I know each other already. He knows the kind of work I do. I know the kind of work he does. So this is not going to be some kind of shock to him. He knows that he's got to go right back to how the old school was, which is more of a scientific, comprehensive approach to it, and to the exercise and nutrition and things like that. And in that, I got more of a technical fighter, technical trainer in Bones Adams that was working with my Donna as well, to sharpen the things up and bring out the things that made Amir what he was back then. Still is.
Thanks, Alex. So, Ricky, over to you. This is Ricky Mann, trainer of Neeraj Goyat. Some might argue, Ricky, that this is a good time to fight Amir Khan. He had a difficult night at Madison Square Garden against Terence Crawford, but it's a huge step up in level for yourselves. Is that how you see it?
Absolutely. Amir has been at the top of his game for over a decade, but as you all know, everyone has a product life cycle, and he's nearing the end of his career, whereas Neeraj is young, hungry and fresh and up and coming. So I think it's a great time to fight Amir Khan.
And in terms of the preparations, is there anything in particular that you think you've identified that you can exploit?
Absolutely, but obviously that stays between me and Neeraj. It's a game plan, and hopefully we can stick to that. But by no means are we underestimating what's ahead of us. We all saw what happened this weekend with Anthony Joshua. He overlooked his opponent. He underestimated the Mexicans. Do not underestimate the Indians.
So Neeraj, over to you. You're the one who's actually got to step through the ropes and get in the ring and fight when that bell goes. How much are you looking forward to tussling with Amir Khan?
Hello everyone, and I'm very happy to be here today. This fight is very good opportunity for me, and I'm taking it very seriously. Amir is amazing, but I have also worked very hard, and I'm the only Indian boxer to beat a world champion, Ken Zhu from China. He's a WBA world champion. I already started my preparing. I'm doing an Army Sports Institute, Pune. That is where I first start boxing. And this fight is a matter of pride and peace for both of our countries. The relationship between India and Pakistan has issues, but the citizens of our country want to peace, and our fight will be healthy war between India and Pakistan. And one more thing I want to tell you, I'm come from very humble background. My shoes are clean because I had this and I survived growing up like this. And the next time I'm going to polish something when I get in the ring. Next one is Amir Khan.
Let me add some more context to this epic battle. And I will summarize what Neeraj has been telling me all week. Since he got this fight, he's been anticipating excitement. So let's take it back to basics. So Neeraj is the WBC Asian champion. He's come from a humble background. Years ago, he grew up cleaning shoes for just $2. Now he's promised to polish Amir Khan's career off.
So Amir, over to you, last but certainly not least. Firstly, let's just ask you about the nature of this contest, the Nations Connect, Nations Unite kind of theme. How proud are you to be part of this and to be representing Pakistan?
First of all, I want to thank the media for being here today. I think it's going to definitely make a lot of noise. It's the first time I'm fighting in Saudi Arabia. Saudi's been hosting some big events, the World Boxing Series, which I saw recently. And obviously, being a British Pakistani, I think, and boxing an Indian fighter, I think this just gives this fight even more spice. It makes it even bigger than it is, especially in that part of the world. But I always train hard for a fight. I'm always focused, and I always give it my all. I know fights like this could lead into bigger fights. You know, maybe one day getting out the KICKBOXER, maybe one day fighting Manny Pacquiao, but I don't want to go too far ahead. I need to win this fight, not only just win it, but win it in good style. Because if I don't win it, or if I don't look good in this, the welterweight division is up there as one of the hardest divisions in the world. You've got some great names in there, and I want to be back in that mix again. It's a quick turnaround since the last fight against Crawford. Crawford was a great fighter, and I want to take nothing away from him. But from that fight, I'm going to just get back in the mix again straight away. Don't want to stay at the game too long, and I just want to get back on winning ways and moving back, fight the best.
As you said, it's a quick turnaround since you boxed Crawford at Madison Square Garden. How difficult was that, the aftermath of that fight? Because you were accused of things at the conclusion of that fight that no one would ever have accused you of before in your career, and was it difficult to hear some of that?
Yeah, definitely. You're always going to get criticism and stuff, and when I was criticised for the Crawford fight, I mean, I'm one of the fighters I rather get knocked out than quit. Obviously, I was in the right state to continue against Crawford. Not taking nothing away from Crawford. Look, it might have been an accidental shot. It was low. It is what it is, and obviously I have to move forward from that. I'm not going to just sit crying and cry about it. I'm going to have to move on. That's why I want to get this fight over and done with quickly, get another fight out there, just so people forget about the last fight.
And in terms of this fight, in terms of your opponent, in terms of the kind of nature of the opponent, you've not been in this situation for, I can't really remember the last time when you took on somebody where you have everything to lose really and they have everything to gain. So you've got to make sure you keep your eye on the ball.
Definitely, fights like this are very dangerous. When you're fighting people like, the Peters, the Garcias, the Crawfords, the Thurmans, you have something to gain. In this fight, really, what have I got to gain? I've got a lot to lose, really. I'm fighting someone who wants to make a name for himself and one day wants to, do well in the sport and make a lot of money in the sport, and he's had this opportunity to fight me. Hopefully he can, if he wins this fight, this takes him on to a different level. And that's why I have to take this fight very seriously, because, with boxing we've seen, obviously what happened with Anthony Joshua just last weekend. Obviously he was knocked out by a fighter who we all thought he was going to destroy. But that's boxing for you. So I've got my team ready here. Camps started for me. Alex Ruiz, is great to be working back with him again, and also Bones Adam, who I'm going to be working with for the first time. But I've had great camps with Alex, and we know each other inside out. So I just can't wait to get back to training again and back on top again.
Okay, so we'll throw it open to questions from the floor. So if anybody's got some questions for any of these gents.
Sorry, just before we do that, we've got Prince Patel here, and if you want to,
Step back on the end, sorry, I saw you.
It's okay, I'm stood next to him, I know you can't see me, but never mind.
So, big opportunity for you. You've been rising up those, I know this is an IBO world title fight, you've been rising up those WBO rankings, making your mark at bantamweight, and this must be a stage you're looking forward to taking to.
I normally fight on small shows around the world and stuff. Took my career in my own hands after 2 years of just being on the shelf, and managed to get myself in the WBO rankings in the top 5, IBF top 15, and now I'm ready to pick up a world title. And then after I pick up this world title, I can maybe unify or step upward to super bantamweight, try and pick up another world title there. And I'm grateful to be on the show, but to be fair, it's India against Pakistan. You can't not have someone like me who's the highest ranked Indian fighter in the world rankings. So obviously, I'm grateful to be on the show, but I'm grateful to bring violence on the show and bring some pain to the opponent.
And we're absolutely delighted to be hosting this fight, and obviously the IBO, Prince is a character we all know. He'll be well behaved in Jeddah, I'm sure, and hopefully he'll be victorious, and we'll move him along in the future as well. So we've got the Prince and we've got the King in Jeddah. So all we're missing is a princess. So if there's a princess out there, we've got the royal family. There we go. Over to you, Andy. Open it up now.
Okay, so any questions from the floor? You're all keeping your powder dry for your individual chats, aren't you? I can see that. So, anyone?
How do you see this fight with your Indian counterpart in the context of the ongoing rivalry between India and Pakistan?
Yeah,
How important for you this is coming from the Pakistani origin for you to win this fight?
yeah, there's gonna be some sort of pressure there because obviously there's a lot going on between Pakistan and India. I always call myself British, but obviously I have family from Pakistan. I always visit the country quite regularly. But obviously we are professional sportsmen. Instead of people having wars and killing each other, fighting each other on the borders, why not take it to a professional area where it could be in a boxing ring, you know? But yeah, we do see a lot happening on the borders. Like I said, I think the way to resolve most of these situations is to take into sport. Like we see cricket, it's a World Cup where you've got Pakistan and India playing. Obviously, you know, stuff like that. I think more of that needs to happen to resolve situations between both of them.
I'd like to ask a question on the end of Neeraj, if I can. Suppose a big upset happens. What do you think the repercussions will be? Do you think it will launch this guy as a big star, or will it simply be seen as a red herring in the final nail in Amir Khan's world-class career? What will happen afterwards? I know you're obviously not saying that, but...
Yeah, I never really think of losing, you know, whoever I fight.
Do you think it can launch him as a big star if he beats you?
It can definitely look. A losing would definitely destroy me, and obviously make him a big name. Definitely, you know, in the day with all that's going on between the two nations, definitely. But you know, that's one thing about me. I'm always very strong-minded. But like I said, things can go wrong. We've seen it happen this last weekend. But I have to stay on my top game. That's why I had to bring the best in again. I had to bring in Alex and and Bones Adama because I could not afford to make any mistakes. I need the best on my side.
Same question to the other team.
I think it's a very valid point. If you think about it, Neeraj has 1.2 billion people supporting him this on fight night, and if he wins, that will catapult him into stardom. So you will see the best Neeraj on fight night.
I will win this fight, I'm sure. As I told you before, I beat one world champion from China, in China also. That fight was happened, I think, before 3 or 4 years ago. I beat him there, that 6-round fight, so you can check my record there also. Also, I beat some world champions in amateurs also. In last 2016, before Rio Olympics, I beat one world champion also there. So, I have power, I have Indian power.
I just want to point out a couple of things that Neeraj brought to the table today. He said to me on the way here, he said, let's look at recent history. In round 1, Amir was dropped against Crawford. In round 2, he was dropped against Vargas. And on this time round, it won't be third time lucky. Neeraj is going to have him down in 3 and knock him out cold.
That's a good thing that we're looking at history because Amir and I are undefeated in 7 fights. So this, I think, will make 8.
And as the old saying goes, all good things come to an end.
Not this time.
We shall see.
Okay.
I have a question for the two of you, and I also have a question for Mr. Khan. My first question is, why have you decided to battle in Saudi Arabia, and why now? If that can go to both of you. And my second question to Mr. Khan, in a previous interview you said that you were interested in supporting the local talent in Saudi Arabia. Would you be interested in setting up a training academy to support the local community over there?
So why Saudi Arabia from all places? I saw the World Boxing Series being held there. I go to Saudi quite a lot to do my pilgrimage to the holy cities, and I decided that maybe one day fighting there would be amazing, especially now with the new Vision 2020 and the Jeddah season. They are really promoting sport and events in Saudi Arabia. So they approached us, we got in touch with them, and then within a week it was all done. So it just shows that, you know, there's been many countries out there in the Middle East who have tried to do events, but they've never really got to the bottom of it. For example, Dubai is one of them. But Saudi, when they said they want to do something, they went and they did it. So this is going to be at the Jeddah seasons, and I have to be ready. And also I want to mention that the Prime Minister of Pakistan is going to be attending the fight, which is huge. You know, if we can get the Prime Minister of England, well, that would be amazing as well, you know, to be at the event. Obviously, I am a British Pakistani, and it's just great to have that backing from Pakistan. And this is going to be a big event, because I think normally when Pakistan and India play cricket, it's a full sellout. It's crazy, but this time it's going to be a little bit different. It's a one-on-one sport where two people are going to be fighting each other, so it's going to be different, yeah.
And the academy question, sorry?
That's right, yeah. So we have already announced that and agreed on opening a few Amir Khan academies in Saudi Arabia. So that has also come with the package of me fighting there. Hopefully we should be opening quite a few Amir Khan academies and promoting boxing and promoting the next generation of Saudi fighters, giving them the opportunity, having good coaches and trainers to go to Saudi Arabia, helping on that side and promoting sport there.
Yeah, there's 8 academies planned to open before the event and whilst we go into Saudi next month, and there's a further plan of another 120 across the Middle East, which is something that we plan to do as well. And we've had these discussions, and it is going to be big business boxing in Saudi. And to have the second event there, it shows that they are trying to bring the best of the best across the world to go out in Saudi. And to bring Amir Khan and Neeraj there is fantastic. And educational program is something that we're looking at. So it's not just boxing, we are doing other stuff that we'll be promoting out there. And hopefully, inshallah, it will do the kids and the community good, just like what Amir's done in the UK, in Pakistan, in India, and he's opened up academies all over the show. So yes, very, very important that the kids of the future get the chance.
Thank you. If you can answer the first part of the question, please, about why Saudi Arabia and why...
Why Saudi Arabia? Because of our country politics. That's why first time in Saudi Arabia, and maybe this is starting, and maybe next time in Pakistan or India, maybe.
Yeah,
because there is all people of Pakistan. There is a lot of friends of mine also, boxers, and India as well. Like Pakistani people like Indians, and Indian like Pakistani, but there is politics on borders and everything. That's why we are going to do this healthy war in the ring. Ring is our border. Thank you.
Can I add to that? As you know, history will show that the two countries are very hostile. So going to a neutral venue like Saudi Arabia it's the best for both worlds. And when I beat him, he cannot say I had any home advantage.
Question for Amir. Since this fight was announced for Jeddah, a few human rights groups have come out and directed some statements towards you, urging you to use this platform as a way to direct focus to Saudi Arabia's human rights record. Boxing News had a piece on it this week as well, which is excellent. How do you balance that, because you are a charitable person, you're known as an advocate for the underprivileged, with pleasing your hosts and doing your job?
I'll just start off on that one, because that's been directed towards the promoters as well. You've got to understand what we're trying to do here, yeah? Jeddah, why we pick Jeddah? The reason it's a safe environment for the Muslim society and the culture. Indians and Pakistanis go to Jeddah, they pay respect and do the pilgrimage there. So we needed a safe place to go on. Jeddah was a perfect opportunity. The first discussion was India. The second discussion was Pakistan. Obviously they want it in the countries that they represent. Jeddah, from my point of view and from a global point of view, it's a safe environment, and I understand why that question comes out. But we are trying to do something humanely possible here, which has not been achieved. We're bringing the two countries together. We're bringing the cultures together. Now we're going to be at the cricket in Old Trafford with both the boxers, and we're going to be there. It's going to be electric. Them guys at cricket will want to kill each other, even though it's a sport, and they don't realise that a sport is a tool. Leave it as a tool. You don't need to pick up weapons. You don't need to kill each other. You don't need to do that. We've moved on from history. We're creating history. This is what we're trying to do. Peace, love, let the two boxers leave it in the ring. And obviously Amir's done so much peace and love out there. Neeraj is doing it for his country. Amir's doing it for Pakistan. Amir does it for the UK, America, all across the world. So let's leave it as that. Give us a chance. It may work, it may not work, but at least we're doing something. So give us a chance and let us do something. I'm sure Amir will answer as well.
Oh, Prince.
He was just talking about creating history, a little history lesson. Once I win the IBO Bantamweight World title, I've become the first man with Indian heritage to win a world title. So I know they're the main event, but I'm obviously going to steal the show. So it's very important to have that bit in.
Amir?
What was the question?
Yeah.
I'll say about one a little bit.
You're just saying the human rights issues
Oh,
in
yeah.
Saudi Arabia, Amnesty International, one of the groups that have urged you to use that platform to
Well, you know, see, I didn't get involved in that negotiation side. Obviously, when they said, look, they said to me, fight on Moon, man, I'm one of them guys that fight wherever. I've never shied away from any location or whatever. So it came on the desk, and we had a look at it, and I said, it makes sense for me, especially going back in again. I want to do a quick turnaround since the last fight, so that's the reason I just took the fight, you know. So I am going a little bit blind to Saudi Arabia. I know that they've done the Super Series there, and it's been a success. Asking a few fighters, for example, Smith, the oldest one, sorry, he's the youngest one, he fought Callum, yeah, he fought there and he won the Super Series. So after speaking to him and Joe Gallagher, they said to me, it looks a safe place, you'll have a good time there, and they'll really take care of you, especially when it's the boxing venue. They've got nice venues there and everything else. So as they're promoting Jeddah season and sports, supporting all these seasons in Saudi Arabia, I thought this might be the right time to do this. And you know, they are throwing a lot of money to the table. I mean, at the end of the day, we are prize fighters, and for me to have this opportunity, I'll be stupid not to take it.
Just on the back of what the former journalists behind you said, I've asked you, my question is, you've talked about launching a training academy in Saudi Arabia. It's obviously renowned for its controversial rules, especially targeted towards women. Would your academies be able to promote boxing for females in Saudi Arabia?
Definitely, you know, I think it all changed when I was there last. I was there where I started seeing women not wearing headscarves. Women were out driving. So a lot of things started to change in Saudi Arabia, which I'd never seen before. I've been going there to do my pilgrimage and stuff. And I remember the last time I was there they had a huge concert where everyone was dancing and enjoying it. And I thought, I'd never seen this side of Saudi Arabia before. So maybe they are changing now to make it that new place where people can go and enjoy themselves, and making it fair for the women. They could drive, they could, you know, they're equal to us. So I think that's what they're trying to change now.
And we have got on the SBL undercard a women's fight for 4 round. They're both unbeaten boxers. So yes, the changes there. You can see that in Jeddah, a women boxing events taking place.
And also the academies are winning, 100% is open to women as well. I mean, I do the same in Bolton, I do the same in Pakistan. It's up to women and men.
Just one other point in regards to that. The Super Boxing League is designed to put women equal to men. And as Asif has said, the Super Boxing League does have some very prominent female supporting. So therefore you'll see what the Super Boxing League is about as well.
Thank you.
We'll take one more and then we'll close off.
The change of team, obviously, like I said, this is a quick turnaround fight now. Obviously, I've been working with Tony, I've been working with Virgil. So because it was a quick turnaround and having them here in the UK and also then going to Saudi Arabia, and also because I've worked with Alex before and I've trusted Alex, how he gets me in shape. I've been in the best shape of my career working with Alex, and you know, it's crazy because every time I used to go around about, people say, oh, why do you get back with Alex Ariza? And obviously I was a little bit hard at the time because Alex had other fighters and he's also busy, and I was doing other things. I had my training camp set up in San Francisco, so it was very hard for me to make that change. But now look how God made it happen. It's all come together. Me and Bones are going to be working together, Bones Adam, for the first time. I've seen some videos and I like the way he trains and teaches his fighters things. See, I mean, I think it's come to that stage now where it's more about the technical side now. So when reading a fight, breaking it down, And no disrespect to Virgil, a great trainer, but obviously for this I thought I'll make this change and let's see how things go after this fight. Vijender Singh, I mean look, at the end of the day, the fight to Vijender Singh was put on the table for him, obviously to take it. That's why I got huge respect for this fight in Neeraj, because he took the fight, being a WBC Asia champion, and he said, look, I'll fight you, no problem. Whereas when Vijender Singh was offered the fight, he refused to it, he did right back, and at the same time, you have to give credit to him for taking the fight.
Just one closing statement from Neeraj. He wants to take this opportunity to thank Amir Khan for giving him this platform and this exposure. He also wants to thank the Super Boxing League, Mr. Bill Dosanjh and Matchroom.
Okay, so we'll break off for photos up on the stage, and then after that, back behind the backdrop, we'll be doing a written press.